wait until tonight so we could hear the result that Alliance come out on top, that we can send back William Marlin back to Parliament with his seat and be one happy family again. Alliance always be one happy family. We unite together, we stay together, we carry our problem together, and we solve them together. In God we put our trust, we put God first, and everything will come afterwards. God will be our glory. Yea, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, Alliance will not fear no evil, for thou art with Alliance. The rod and thy staff will comfort us.
Well, for me, there is no lie in the truth, and therefore the Alliance will always prevail because they always promote the truth. And from the slates 1 to 23, you understand, you have 23 areas of truth in the health sector, in the recycling sector, in the infrastructural sector, in the people development sector. You have the truth, and that is important. That's always important. So, I mean, it's not only about going white, it's about going right, and right for the people.
National. History gonna be written today.
How is it going? How is it going?
Very good, very good. There's a very good feeling today. Today we win it all.
How do you feel about the National Alliance Party?
Today we're going on top. History gonna be written. Today Emmanuel going back in.
On the road, huh?
Yes, sir.
The action lady.
Yes, sir. You know.
Tell me how it's going for you. Today's voting day. How it's going for you so far?
So actually, it's going very good so far. I'm very encouraged by the response so far. And you know how people say that a lot of people don't feel like voting, but a lot of people have already come up to me and say, you know, they already took care of business. They take, you know, they're coming out. I have one right now that's experiencing a little challenge with the voting card, but that's to show you they're going the extra mile to make sure that they get their voting cards and they get, you know, they get out there. So we are really encouraged by that.
Okay, Colin, you think that your party is going to do victory today?
I expect my party to do extremely well today, based on the response that we've had so far. But again, I never take anything for granted. I know that the voters are very wise, and so I expect them to be sitting down and really looking and making some calculated, you know, discussions and then making the decision. But I expect my party to do extremely well today.
I know that your party campaigned very strongly in keeping the election.
Yes, well, not yes and no. They didn't agree with, you know, having the election at this time. But in the end, they decided we're already here. Let's make the best of it now that the election is in the air.
If you get elected to Parliament, what are some of the things that you would want to work on?
Well, you know, my priority areas would automatically be the law and tertiary education, which I started in 2012. I left a draft there when I left office, and for some reason, over the next 6 years, it has not materialized. So that is going to be my number one priority, in addition to a number of laws that have to do with education. Also taking care of the National Sports Institute, which again we founded when we left in 2012, but it hasn't gotten off the ground. We hear that it's now officially established, but it still hasn't gotten off the ground to promote and to develop sports in the way that we want it to get developed. So those are some of the priority areas in terms of legislation, special needs and gifted and talented students. The way the schooling for them is not addressed actually in the laws. We want to make sure that that's taken up in the law as well. So there are a number of priority areas, as well as making sure that the Charlotte Books and Academy gets a stable home, gets a real home, but gets incorporated into the education system in a way that makes that sustainable.
Okay, we have a member here of the UT. We want to say a few words to the supporters.
Yes, I would like to tell all my supporters to come out and vote for Frankie, number 3. Come out, make the right choice. Make the right choice. Okay?
So you find Frankie is the right man to vote for?
Yes, I find Frankie is the right man to vote for.
Give me an insight that why would you want to support Frankie?
Because Frankie is a man who always stand up for his people, who always there for his people. And that's my reason why. I said come out and vote number 3.
Okay.
To let everyone know, give Mr. Myers a chance. Again, he did it the first time, he would do it again. And like I said, he's a man of his word. He knows what he's doing. And by the end of the day, we all know if you give him a chance, he would do something good for St. Martin. After Hurricane, he did his utmost best, even with the dump, with that video. If anybody had looked at it, everybody would understand what is going on in St. Martin. Just give him a chance and you would see exactly what he has to prove to you.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Anything can happen between now and then. Then it might start to rain.
That's your vote right now.
That was little girl and regulars now.
I just ran back for mine, by the way, okay?
Look at here. Well, it's, as always, a great experience voting in South Reward. We kind of toned it down actually today because we wanted to get it out of the way. There's another batch that voted this morning and another large group that will be voting. But all through the day, we know South Reward to be what it is. And the South Reward people will be coming out along with those from Weymouth Hill and Ebenezer, and they will be casting their votes for the National Alliance. Of course, we won't take every vote, but we will definitely take the majority of votes.
What's the sentiment so far from different voters that you've met, or only now you're going back on the road?
Well, I've been in contact with voters for the past weeks. This morning early, I've received about 178 messages and still counting because the phone continues to buzz, but early this morning I had about 178 messages from different people saying that their prayers and thoughts are with us and they're praying for a victorious outcome. On the other side of the equation, my son just called me from Middle Region, and he's very much upset because apparently whether they're detectives or whoever they're from, but they're officers who are taking their pictures and claiming that they are vote buying because they are giving voters a t-shirt. Now I'm saying if that is what it is, then we may as well ban t-shirts, flags, and anything else. Because if a voter walks up to you and asks you, because up to this morning we were printing more t-shirts because we had ran out of t-shirts. So if voters are saying, I want a t-shirt before I go to vote, if that constitutes vote buying, then every political party, I think, would be locked up because every one of them have given T-shirts to people, whether it's before they go to vote or a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Actually, this week I was making a joke. I was standing outside here. I went to drop off a T-shirt for someone, and then 2 people stopped and asked me for a shirt. And I said, well, I can't give it to you, I can sell it to you. And, we joked about it, but this is very serious and it is disturbing because if this is the direction, we are heading, then we are definitely in the wrong direction.
All right. Any guidelines were given to the political parties, if you know, Mr. Marlin, concerning these, rules?
The regular guidelines in terms of the 200 meters away from a polling station. What is also thing, it was the same guidelines that were given, I think, 2016, and they were not adhered to. You couldn't gather, you couldn't solicit. People had to vote freely, but we've seen political parties that did just the opposite and nothing has happened. So I think this year again, this morning we had set up shop close to the shop here next to Milton Peters College, and the police respectfully asked us to move and we should go close to the church.
Wow.
We did so, and then one neighbor in the neighborhood volunteered and asked us to put a tent in her yard since it's private property. It's 2 houses away from the church, so it didn't make much of a big difference. But yeah, things are not the kind of lively as they used to be. Personally, I would rather see a situation where nobody even come to vote in a T-shirt. You come in your plain clothes. If you want to wear white, you want to wear green, red, or blue, that's your business, but not something saying vote for a particular candidate. Then we are coming closer and closer to free and fair elections.
Do you find that the messages that your candidates from the National Alliance Party has do good for you all to capture either 8 seats or 10 seats?
Definitely. Our message was loud and clear. One of the things that highlighted this campaign was the many lies that was spread by one particular party in particular that created all kind of lies trying to deceive the voters because they could not justify why they broke up a government that was working in the interest of the people. Following the hurricane, they created stories that the Prime Minister dropped the ball. The Prime Minister was not in charge of distribution of food and water. Yet they created stories and say that he was. The Prime Minister blocked the border. It was clear it is the police that did it for certain precautionary measures. And so you can go on. Over the past weeks, I personally have been aggressively campaigning on radio, on Facebook, on social media, WhatsApp, phone calls, but also knocking on doors. And what I've kept getting is, why didn't you say it before? Why didn't you let us know before? Now I understand. 2 days ago, a family of mine called me and said, I heard you on Billy D. And to be honest, I didn't plan to vote. But after I heard your message, I understand certain things now. Thanks for informing me. Came down yesterday, picked up his T-shirts, his stickers, his flags, and he and his family is going out to vote. And so every day, had this campaign been an extra week, I'm sure the amount of people coming out to vote would have been even higher than we are going to expect. Those predicting a low voters turnout, I think there are quite some people who are not on the island. There are several people who are stuck off island for medical care. And some of them who left went to the Netherlands, some who went to Curacao and Aruba, and they are not here. But for the people who are physically on St. Martin, I think the majority of them, more than 60% of them, will come out and cast their vote.
across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
Yes. I know you run a very tight campaign for this election, and a lot of target was on you. And today is voting day. How do you feel, sir?
I feel excellent. I feel great. I feel great. Tremendous support. And you can see the National Alliance family is coming out, and overwhelming support for number 2 candidate. It's just words can't describe, but I feel good. Feel excellent.
Now, how do you feel that you've been targeted a lot into this election? Are you all comfortable with that, or you find that?
Of course, and I understand the reason for the target, because no one else had solutions for our major problems. For example, the United Democrats launched their whole campaign on my person. Why? Because here I am as a young minister, came into the ministry and was doing unprecedented things that they have been trying to do in 20 and 30 years and couldn't have gotten it done. And within 1 year, I started to make moves, I started to shift, and I started to rub shoulders with influential people. And we started to make things happen for the landfill, for roads, for housing. And I mean, it really, really, really put a dent in their system that they have been operating with for such a long time, and those things started to change and they didn't like it. So of course I was the target, but it didn't do me nothing. I broadened my shoulders and I took it as it came.
Now, do you feel that weaken you or make you more stronger?
No, on the contrary, I tell people negative or positive publicity is still publicity. So now Christopher Emmanuel is a household name, and like I said, I'm a household name because of the work that I have done. When you look at St. Martin today and how we have cleaned up St. Martin as Minister of Romy, no one can question the work that we had put into the ministry and what we have brought to the government and the people of St. Martin.
With all the criticism going, how you went to visit some people, what did they tell you about
Overwhelming support. Overwhelming support. Someone told me, listen, I feel good knowing that my vote is going to someone that can give prime real estate land with people here nappy like mine. And I know exactly what he meant by that. So it's overwhelming support everywhere that I go.
I must tell you the plain truth. Cotton to me is doing a very good job, and I hope that he would be able to continue to do what he was doing, where he left Abra. So you know, I'm giving it all out for him this year, this time.
Okay, we're here with Samuel. How is it going so far for you?
Well, it's going good. This morning I was part of the early group, and it had a lot of people in the line, and then it went down a little bit, and after the sun, around 12 o'clock it slowed down, and it's gradually picking back up again.
Do you find that your messages that you send out has worked for you for this election?
Well, I will see at the end of the day, because a lot of people told me that they saw the messages, and many of them said thank you up front. So I will see it at the end.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
In election 2018, your comments?
Well, it's been a very, first of all, good afternoon to all the voters out there in all of St. Martin. It's been a very quiet election, I will say, unlike elections of the past. But I guess, everyone is still recuperating after Irma. But I'm hoping that the people come out to vote because, again, it's going to determine who's going to be in government for the next 4 years. So I'm looking forward to all of the support coming out to rebuild St. Martin.
Parties address a number of issues as it relates to the economy, the recovery process, and of course the environment, and we had it all. But for your party, what is the main concern?
Well, I've stated 2 points that I've stated all through the campaign, which to me is the rebuilding of our economy and housing for our people. I mean, you have to focus on 2 elements, and for me, as a St. Martiner, I felt that you need to make sure to help the people, job creation, housing, and the economy of this country. Because without a strong business environment, St. Martin is not going to be able to go anywhere. Without a strong housing environment, our people themselves won't be able to have a community to be able to live in. And those are the points that I have been focusing on and campaigning on throughout the last few weeks.
UD is yet to release its manifesto. If this is the case, why?
Well, let me tell you, we have released manifestos nearly on an annual basis, and we have given a synopsis of our manifesto, and I'm giving you the points of the manifesto that I feel that are very important. You don't need a total elaborate manifesto to come out with for a governing program that is going to be developed right after, after tonight. I mean, after tomorrow morning, we're going to know who has won the elections, and hopefully it is the UD. You know full well our manifesto speaks for itself because we've brought 2 big parties together. You've brought very seasoned politicians together with a very good young environment part of it as well to learn and educate them to push the youth forward as well. But I believe now is not a time to just throw away the experience that you see on our party.
What is the underlying factor in your manifesto?
Well, like I said again, it comes down to the environment, it comes down to the economy, it comes down to housing. Of course, education for your people are going to be key issues over the next few years. But again, right now you have a country that is nearly bankrupt. You have a business community that is not investing into the community. You have people that are looking for how and where we're going to go in the future. And and also even the relationship with the Netherlands. I mean, at this point in time, without their help, St. Martin is going to need a great influx of not only monies, but also help in rebuilding the process.
8 p.m. is fast approaching. How optimistic are you?
Well, I'm very optimistic in the sense that I think that the people themselves are going to look at track records. I put myself at the opportunity to them to see what my track record has been about in the past, and I think that they know what I'm capable of doing in the future. They have seen a list also. A lot of the people have experience on it, so the track record is there. It's very visible. Stated at a radio station, one was a tall order, but no, I'm not going to exclude anyone from for the development of this country. Some will take a little bit more swallowing, but no, we're not going to exclude anyone. Willing to talk to anyone, Hilbert, and we want to and work for the people of St. Martin. So I'm not going to let any of my ego be part of that. It's strictly about rebuilding the country. So to say to you, no, I don't want to exclude anyone. I don't want it to take a long process either, but in the sense it shouldn't be too long of a drawn-out period, but we should have at least common ground to make sure that we can work with something.
Is there already an idea about from which pool the ministers for the new government are going to come? Are they going to come from the candidates, or are they going to be appointees from outside of the candidate list?
Well, you know how this screening process is going. It's an up and down process, very open in the sense of, it depends what criteria they use. And it usually should be existing candidates. Let me put it that way, because that's what the people vote for.
Yeah.
But again, seeing what I've seen in the past, I have to now leave all options open.